majority. We really have to check further. But take a low after. You don't have a choice, then you follow majority. Oh, thank you. And if you have a choice, then you don't follow majority. That could be okay. The Gemara really didn't resolve the question. We do know that we follow majority, and I mentioned that last night that you really need to arise biblically. You don't need to check an animal after you slaughter it. You can assume most animals are healthy. This animal is also probably healthy. But it was a rabbinic enactment. At the very least, you need to check the lungs. That was the sakana b'rabbanan. And I mentioned again, I was checked last night, 3 different reasons that are given you for it. Either because it's easy to check the lungs, so therefore why not do it, or because the holes in the lungs are going to go up pretty quickly. People are going to see it. It might now be a biblical prohibition of eating, but you have the strength to throw away the meat and eat. Or because since it is, somewhat probable that there'd be a problem in the lungs, and it is sakana, just need to check it. Yeah, I wrote a question. I think only Badat says, yeah. Yeah, let me also check some of every blood. The Badat opens it up. I know some of that is one of the reasons why they say Badat truth is better. Later. 3%? 97%? There is there. Wow, well, 10% is very neat. How much? No, not like, right. Just one that would be 10 down the figure, they would have a very high percentage. You don't like it, you just think you would say that I'm really more than you do, and it's because it would come out. Okay, so we are on the 4th line here in Yud Beis Amud Aleph at the 2 dollars. I'm Rav Nachman Amarav. Rav Nachman told the name of Rav. If Zev is watching someone else, watches Reuben slaughter, then we feel about so mutter lechol mishchitasa. Zev saw Reuben slaughter from the beginning to the end, and we can eat from the shchita. Imrav, the into the whole thing, also lechol mishchitasa. We can't eat from the shchita. What's this guy Reuben? What's the case? If the other begamir, if I, Zev, know that Reuben knows all the laws, why do I need to watch him the whole time? I don't need to see him. Okay, he knows the laws. If the other lokamir, if I'm watching him and I know that he doesn't know the laws, of course I need to watch the whole time. Shita, he doesn't know the laws. He's going to get things done wrong. I have to watch the whole time. If I watch the whole time, then I know he did it right. Otherwise not. Hell, you got me or low got me. It must be the case that I don't know if he knows it or he doesn't know it. Do that. Why? If you have an issue of row, that's to say, most people who get involved with shita are experts. If this guy's doing it, must be he was an expert, and we can assume he's an expert. And if it was a good shita, didn't learn in a brayso. You find a chicken slaughtered in the street, or if you tell your emissary, say shchot v'halach v'matzah shachut, go out and slaughter my chicken for me. And then you go and find a chicken slaughtered. Chazkaso shachut, the chazak is that it was done right. And we don't assume that there was drisa, or there was shihiyah, a delay in the middle of the slaughtering. Why? Alma, apparently. We say, most of the people doing shchita are experts. If you find something shechted, you can assume it was done right. So if that's the case, if I don't know whether this guy is knowledgeable or not, I should be able to assume that he is knowledgeable. And so, Hachanami, see here too, they should say most people doing the shchita are experts. So if I don't know, I don't need to watch the whole time because I can assume he's an expert and therefore I can rely on him. The answer is lo-olam, so we have to say the case is the other the lo-kamir. We're talking about where I'm watching someone and I know that he doesn't know the laws. I know he's not part of the majority. I know he's part of the minority that don't know the laws and are still involved with shchita. I know he doesn't know the laws. And what's the case? He slaughtered one pipe shapir very well. He slaughtered, let's say, the esophagus very well. But he didn't slaughter the windpipe yet. Then I walk out. Now I come back and I find they're both slaughtered. So Ma'udatema would have thought the same with the high Shapir, since he did one pipe well. Hachnami Shapir, so you can assume that the other one is also going to be done well. Kamash Malan, that's the Chiddush of Rav Nachman in the name of Rav. Maybe not. Maybe one pipe he got well because he happened to get it done well. Idach on the second one, Shema Shah. Maybe he paused. Shema Daras. Maybe he pressed. And therefore, you can't eat it unless you watch the entirety of the Shechita. Next case. Well, I mean, Rav Dimi Bar Yosef, Rav Nachman. Rav Dimi Bar Yosef asked the question of Rav Nachman. Omer l'shlucho, somebody who tells his emissary, say Yushchot. Okay, Yaakov, you go represent me, go slaughter for me. Then I go and I find that the cow that I told Yaakov to slaughter, Dali, is slaughtered. So, what's the halacha? Amar lo. So Rav Nachman said back to Rav Dimi, the son of Yosef, okay, you can assume it was a good shechita. Then he asked him, let's say Zev tells the shliach, say utron, go and separate maser, truma for me, from the grain. The grain is tabel, you're not allowed to eat it. Go separate trumas and maises for me. And then I go and I see that somebody has taken some pieces away from the pile. What's the halacha? Rav Nachman said to him, you can't assume that pieces on the side are really truma and maiser. You have to take trumas and maises again. So he said, I understand. Manavshach. Choose your side. If you're telling me that there's a presumption that when you give somebody a job, he's going to do the job, there's a chazaka that a shliach does the shlichus that he was given. If that's the case, afilu truma nami. So then, when you told somebody to go give truma for you, and you go and it looks like there was truma given, you should assume that there was in fact truma given, because the chazaka is that the shliach does the shlichus. V'yein chazaka shliach osa shlichus. And if there is no presumption that a shliach is going to do a shlichus, afilu shchita nami lo. So then, even when you told someone to go do shchita for you, you should assume that it wasn't done by him. Amar Lesi said to him, listen, he's made a joke. Okay, first measure out for me a kur worth of salt. In other words, go serve me. If you serve me, then when you serve me by measuring out for me a whole kur worth of salt, 30 sa worth of salt, then I'll, as a reward for that, I'll give you the answer. But here's the answer. When you give somebody a job, and you say, please do this, and he says, I'll do it, doesn't mean he's going to do it. There's no chazaka, there's no presumption that a shliach is going to do his job. But other people might have overheard you, and they might say, I see you need this, you want this. So they might do it on their own for you. So therefore, in regards to asking someone to shecht for you, so maybe he's not going to shecht for you, but maybe his wife's going to hear, maybe other people around are going to hear, and they're going to go and shecht for you. That's fine. We have a presumption. Most people who slaughter are experts. So if somebody else heard and they decided to shecht, it's okay, because they're probably a mumcha. Truma, but in regards to truma, since we don't have a presumption that the shliach's going to do it, maybe someone else is going to hear, and that other person who hears is going to go and give the truma for you. So that's already a truma without intent of the owner. It's not the owner's shliach. The halach is that if somebody gives truma without having approval of the owner, it's not a truma. As Rashi points out, shlichus de truma is based on a pasuk, atem gam atem. We learned it back in Gittin and in Kedushin. The Rabba shluchachem. And we also learned, the Gemara says, ma atem l'da'atem chem, av shluchachem l'da'atchem. Just like when you are giving, it's because you want to give. For your shliach to give for you, it has to be that you want him to give. But if you didn't want him to give, then he can't give truma on your behalf. So if somebody else overhears and that person gives truma from me, I never told that person to go give truma for me, and the truma would not be good. Okay, so now, these are two halachas so far. The halacha of a shaliach and the halacha of watching. Third point, lema, let's suggest, maybe this question that we're saying, most of the people who get involved with shchita are experts. Maybe that is itself a machlokas tanaim. The Tanya learned in a braysa. Let's say a person loses his goats or his chickens. Then he's going around the town looking for his goats and chickens, and he finds the goats and chickens of his slaughtered. Rabbi Yehuda says you can't eat it. Says no, you could eat it. Amar Rabbi said, Nirin, Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, I agree with Rabbi Yehuda that you can't eat it. Shemetzan ba'ashba, if you find the goats and chickens in a garbage dump. Divrei Reb Chanina b'nosh Rabbi Yossi Aglili, I agree with Reb Chanina, the son of Rabbi Yossi Aglili, that you could eat it. Shemetzan b'bayis, if you find it in a house. So my love, so presumably. This is the argument. Mar Savar, the one who says that if you find it slaughtered, you can eat it, namely the view of Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Because we presume most of the people involved with shchita are experts, otherwise they wouldn't get involved. If somebody slaughtered it, someone got involved, probably that person who got involved was an expert, he knew what he was doing. Yes?
Regarding the trimmer, you said you can't give on behalf of somebody else.
Without his approval.
Right, like he has to be a shliach, right?
That's right.
Can you give a kabbanot, or can you give tzedakah on behalf of somebody else? Can you do that?
Also not. You have to be a shliach. No.
You have to really trust your shliach, Rabbi.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Well, Mar Sava, the other opinion says that if you find it slaughtered, you cannot eat it. We don't assume that most of the people involved with shchita are experts. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said, "Lo, it's not necessarily machlokas tanoi." So Kuli Amla, maybe everybody agrees. Most people who get involved with shchita are experts. Ubabayis, and if you find the animal or the chicken in the house, Kuli Amla lo pligi, no one would argue. Deshari, everybody would agree that it's all okay. If you found it in the house, everybody would agree that it's okay. Because and if you found the goat or the chicken in the market, garbage dump, then everybody would agree it's not okay. Because what's it doing in the garbage dump? Must be that it was not a kosher shchita. That's what's thrown out. Where's the argument? If it's in a garbage heap, but in a house. One holds it's probably no good, because that's why it's in the garbage. The other one holds people are not going to leave a non-kosher, not kosher slaughtered animal in a garbage in the house. If you leave it in a garbage in the house, it's going to smell up the house. So if they left it in the house, must be it was kosher slaughtered. It ends up in the garbage. Okay, but really it's kosher slaughtered. It's going to be used soon. It's going to be cut up and eaten from. That's why it's kosher.
If it's a Jewish neighborhood area.
Presumably, yeah. Not if it's a Muslim neighborhood. They also slaughter, right? Amar. We just learned. Amar Rabbi said, Near Rabbi Yehuda, I agree with Rabbi Yehuda that the found goat is no good. Shemetzan ba'ashpa, if you found the goat in a garbage dump. My ashpa. So what garbage dump was that? Elim ashpa shabashuk, the garbage dump in the market. Hamarti, you just said the kuliyam lo pligidas. Everybody agrees that that's no good. El lapshita, what must it be? Ba'ashpa shababais. We found it in the garbage dump in the house. Amos Sefer. But then read the next line of Rabbi Yehuda. The next line of Rabbi. And I agree with Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Shemetzan b'bayis. If it was found in a house. So my bias, what's the case of house? Elim a bias mamid. You're going to say literally a house. Everybody agrees that that's okay. Must be it's in the garbage of the house. So Kasha to Rabbi other Rabbi. So now you have a contradiction of Rabbi. In the beginning he said that he agreed with Rabbi Yehuda that an ashpa, if it's found in the ashpa shababayis, it's no good. And in the end he says he agrees with Rabbi Chanina or Rabbi Yossi that in the ashpa shababayis it is okay. And so the Gemara now turns to Yud Beis and Yud Beis. Achi Kamar. This is what Rabbi meant to say. Here in Divrei Rabbi Yehuda le Rabbi Chanina. The words of Rabbi Yehuda, who says that it's no good, that seems appealing to Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Yossi Aglili, Ashba Shebashuk, in a garbage dump in the market. That even Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Yossi Aglili, would agree that if it's in the garbage dump in the market, it's no good. Because even Rabbi Chanina only was saying that in the garbage in the house he would disagree with Rabbi Yehuda. But in the garbage in the market, Modile, he agrees to him. V'nirin V'nirin, and then you go the other way too. Nirin Divrei Reb Chanina, and the words Reb Chanina appeal to Reb Yehuda in regards to the bias itself, because they only were arguing about aspect of a bias, but not about the bias itself. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Now we'll go back to the Mishnah. The Mishnah said everybody can shech except for a deaf mute, an imbecile, or a minor. Because they might ruin the shechita. Look at that. It doesn't say that they might have ruined in the past. It says Shema Yikalku. They might ruin in the future. Now, Rabbi said like this. So, here you learn a new rule. Even though we said everyone who shechs with somebody supervising them, it's okay. That means if it was done, not lechatchila. You can never give an animal that's not holy to be slaughtered by a child, or even with an adult standing over him. Lechatchila. They might ruin it.
But if they end up slaughtering it.
If they ended up slaughtering with somebody watching them and that guy saw that it was done well, it's okay. You can't give it to them lechatchila. And the Mishnah said, Kulam Sheshachtu. All these people mentioned in the Mishnah, if they shech, and other people were watching them, Shchitas and Sheira, the Shchitas kosher. 1 second, we talk about a shoteh, we talk about a katan, there can't be any kavana, there's no intention, there's no das, and not b'nei das. When it says man tana, who's the tana? Globina kavana l'shchita. Doesn't it require that there be kavana for a shchita to be done right? Rava said, Rabbi Nasan is Rabbi Nasan. The son is in a bride, so she has the ears in Israel. Oh, she has the youngest of the 8 sages. Zarak Sakim and also the kotel. He wants to do a knife to try to have it stabbed into the wall. The and when it was flying, it slaughtered. Threw the knife, and when flying, it slaughtered right and split the neck. Rabbi Nasan Machshir, Rabbi Nasan said it's okay. There's no kavana here, but it's okay. Chachamim postlenu. So who tell you now? He taught this brayso of one, he explained it. Halacha ki Rabbi Nasan. Halacha like Rabbi Nasan. Ask the Gemara, how could that be? Ravina Molochu maybe, but we require that the knife go across and then back. You have to have 2 slits on the pipe. When it says Shaholcha, yeah, boomerang, exactly. Shaholcha, when it hit a wall, Uba, and it came back, Kedarka the same way. It went out, hit a wall, and split the other way too. Okay, now moving on to Hadshim. That's the Gemara. Amar Reb Chia bar Abba. Reb Chia bar Abba said by Reb Yochanan. Reb Yochanan a question. Katan yesh lo machshava. Oh, ain't lo machshava. That's in regards to slaughtering a Hadshim carbon. A katan, do we say he has the right amount of thought to make it a shema or not? Amar le Rabbi Amir. Rabbi said that Tiboy le Maisa. Why don't you ask based on an act? Of course, you assume that they do have the ability to have an act. It's not. Yesh le'maisa. They have the ability to have an act. Rabanami lo tiboyle. So Machshava also shouldn't be a question. It's not. Because we went to the Mishnah. That same Mishnah says, Ein lahem machshava. They don't have the ability to have machshava. It's not going to the Mishnah. Alone, v'halimon, v'ha'ego. Alone is a type of a fruit. Acorn, okay. An acorn, a pomegranate, or a walnut. Lamud b'hem afar. Their children made a hole out of them in order to use them as a measuring cup to measure dirt, or they prepared them to make them into a scale. Now they are a vessel, they can become tamei. Since there was an act intended to make it a vessel, it becomes a vessel. However, they machshava, but they don't have the ability of thought. So let's say they didn't do something. They just found the shells of a walnut, and they're thinking that they're going to use it, but they don't do something to it, like here where they did an act to the walnut. They're not going to be able to turn it into a vessel. They don't have thought, but they do have action. He said to him, you're right. just a thought without doing something, of course, they don't have the power. My question is when he does something, and maybe through what he did, we see that he had the right thoughts. Let's say you had a carbon ola in the south. And this child took it into the north, the shachtan, he slaughtered it there. What's the halacha? Since he brought it to the north, the shachta, that means he has kavanah to shecht it for the right thing. Otherwise, he would have left it in the south. Or maybe not. Maybe it just wasn't comfortable there in the south. He didn't have enough space. He didn't like it. And therefore, he brought it up to the north. Dr. Shem will continue at this point.